Alright, fellow Slayers, time to take a look at the next episode of the day, which is Pangs. Buffy tracks and kills the vampire while Angel watches her from behind some bushes. And the next day, UC Sunnydale has a groundbreaking ceremony for the new Cultural Center building, and Xander is one of the construction workers. Buffy, Will, and Anya watch. Anya imagines having sex with Xander. Buffy and Willow talk about the meaning of Thanksgiving. Xander begins to dig. Suddenly, the ground suddenly caves out under him, and he drops an old abandoned building, which turns out to be the old Sunnydale Mission. Buffy's said that her mother, Joyce, is going to be out of town for Thanksgiving, but this has to cook her own Thanksgiving dinner and invite all their friends. Covered in a blanket and in terrible shape, Spike runs through the woods, trying to escape Riley and his team as they look for him. Anya arrives at Xander's to find him incredibly sick, and right away starts taking care of him. A green haze goes up from the old mission and goes to the cultural center where some weapons are being kept. After the haze comes to contact with a spear, it turns into a large Native American man and kills Professor Gerhardt. Buffy and Willow later secretly investigate the murder and wonder why the creator's body was missing an ear. They discover that a Shumash knife is missing. Buffy tells Giles about the murder while planning to have Thanksgiving at his place. After Giles agrees to look up information on the Shumash people and Buffy leaves, Angel appears from the back room, having traveled to Sunnydale due to his friend's visions of Buffy in danger. He and Giles talk about watching over Buffy. Angel tells him he doesn't want Buffy to know, but keeping a secret from Buffy is hard for both of them. Buffy and Willow talk about preparations for Thanksgiving dinner, and then Riley shows up. Buffy invites Riley to her Thanksgiving dinner, but hurries plans to visit family in Iowa. Willow goes to get coffee and runs into Angel. He tells her he's not evil, and that he's just looking out for Buffy because she might be in trouble. He quickly explains he's not here for personal reasons, only to keep Buffy safe, though contradicts that sentence when he asks who's the guy talking to Buffy, simply showing suspicion and slight jealousy. Starving, Spike tries to get food from Harmony, but she threatens him with a steak and he leaves. Buffy goes to find Father Gabriel, a priest who may have information for them, but finds a returning Shumash spirit has killed him. After the mission was uncovered, his spirit was released to reenact the wrongs that were done to his people. Buffy and Giles talk about it while working on dinner, and then Will shows up with a stack of books on the Shumash. She explains that they were once peaceful. The people of Sunnydale horribly mistreated them. Cutting off a victim's ear is a way to prove that the kill was successful. Will and Giles argue about what happened between the Native Americans and the people who took their land and their lives. When Buffy goes to the kitchen, the two talk secretly about Angel's reappearance. Anya practically carries Xander to Giles' place, and after some research, they determine that he probably has malaria, smallpox, and syphilis, some of the diseases that took a terrible toll when brought from Europe to a population without resistance. With only a blanket to protect him from the sun, Spike shows up at Giles' place asking for help. Buffy's reluctant to give it, but after he offers inside information on the initiative, and Willow helps him explain that he can't bite anyone anymore, they bring him inside in time to a chair. Everyone begins to argue about what they're going to do to stop the avenging spirit. Willow doesn't want to kill him, but everyone else argues that that's the only way. While Willow, Anya, and weakened Xander go to find the Dean and warn him his life may be in danger, the spirit calls forth more spears to help him get revenge for their people. The spears attack Buffy, Giles, and Spike with arrows. Helplessly tied to a chair, all Spike can do is try to move out of the way as he gets hit with the arrows. Willow, Xander, and Anya encounter Angel on their way back, and they determine that the Shumash went after Buffy. Buffy tries to go for more weapons, but gets an arrow in the arm. After riding over on bicycles, the Scooby Gang tries to attack the Shumash spears as best they can with shovels. Angel shows up and helps them out. Buffy cuts from the Shumash with his own knife and discovers that their own weapons can kill them. The spear turns into a large black bear, which Spike desperately tries to get away from and ends up knocking the chair over. Buffy struggles with the bear and then stabs it. All the avenging spirits disappear. Angel walks away without being seen by Buffy, and later, the gang sits down at Thanksgiving dinner. Still tied to a chair, Spike sits with them and whines that he still hasn't been fed. Xander accidentally lets it slip that Angel was in town. Dun dun dun! So now let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. This episode is preceded by the Angel episode, The Bachelor Party, in which Joy receives a vision of Buffy in trouble. Later, Buffy follows Angel back to Los Angeles, as seen in I Will Remember You. Xander begins working construction. His last job was bartending in Beer Bad. He will grow into a career in construction until the end of the series. Will considers what else could be better than Sunnydale, like the church where the Master was trapped, foreshadowing her raising the very temple of Pros- of Proserpina. Harmony threatens to kill Spike with a stake, reminding him that he had done the same to her in the harsh light of day. Willow asks Angel about Cordelia working for him, which she's been doing since the episode Lonely Heart. She probably knows about it due to Oz's visit Angel investigations. Santa will refer to his affliction in this episode during Buffy vs. Dracula. Anya later refers to the syphilis as well during a song in Once More with Feeling. This is the last time Angel would appear inside Giles' house, the first time since the reinvite and amends. Angel says he had forgotten how bad it feels to watch over Buffy without being able to help her. He's done so since she was called as a slayer, and will keep tabs on her from afar. Angel reminds Giles that watching over Buffy isn't his job either, since he's fired for the Watchers Council and helpless. He asks if this will make him walk away from her, which Giles will consider in Buffy vs. Dracula and eventually do in Tabula Rasa. Buffy goes to Father Gabriel in an unidentified monastery. An empty place is established that the mission is in Gilroy and has a secret room with a message about the Slayer. This is the first time Angel sees Riley, making him suspicious of him talking to Buffy. After learning about their relationship with Sanctuary, Angel recognizes Riley as Buffy's boyfriend in the Yoko Factor. Anya acts as if she's meeting Angel for the first time. They had, however, briefly met during the ride to send back Van Willow to the Wishverse in Doppelgangland. Alright, let's take a look at some production notes from this episode. The actual Chumash people was entrenched along the California Central Coast, including around modern Santa Barbara, a probable real-life counterpart to Sunnydale, and numbered as many as 20,000 people before contact with Europeans. The tribe survives today as the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash, which has U.S. recognition as a Native American tribe and controls a reservation and casino in Santa Ynez, California. The establishment shot of the monastery is of Mission Santa Ynez in Solvang, California. The interior scenes were filmed in the Mission San Fernando Rey de España in Los Angeles. Sophia Crawford performed Buffy's stunts with a real bear named Bonkers in the studio. The diegetic audio from the last scene continues for a brief moment into the closing credits, a technique also used in the episodes I, Robot You Jane, Lie to Me, Homecoming, Helpless, Doomed, Out of My Mind, among others. This is the first of 3 episodes to feature Buffy's 3 primary love interests, Angel, Spike, and Riley. The others are the Yoko Factor and Fool for Love, though Angel appears in the latter only in flashbacks. And now finally, let's take a look at some pop culture references. Buffy sarcastically says Xander is working very manly and unlike Village People, the disco group associated with his costumes and gay culture. Willow mentions Xander worked in the fast food franchise Hot Dog on a Stick. Willow makes a connection between ear cutting and the Peter Vincent van Gogh, known for having cut off his own ear. Buffy mentions the Southern California supermarket chain Ralph's. Buffy mentions the fictional city Metropolis from the Superman franchise. Riley and Buffy quote Robert Frost's 19 poem, The Death of the Hired Man. Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in. Riley compares where he grew up to Grant Wood's paintings, which often depicted the rural American Midwest. Spike mentions Julius Caesar and parodies his quote, I came, I saw, I conquered. Xander calls Huss in his bear form Gentle Ben, referring to the bear character. Willow compares herself with George Armstrong Custer, a United States Army officer who fought in the American Indian Wars. So overall, I think this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, the fact that Angel showed up in this episode was kind of cool. So yeah. So overall, I give Pangs 4 vampire steaks out of 5. Anyway, tune in a bit as we take a look at the final episode of the day, Something Blue. So, Until then, here endeth the lesson.